Hi everyone, I'm Elizabeth Knowles, fellow attorney and mindfulness coach. Today we're diving into the first of the 9 facets of mindfulness, non-judgment. And I know what you might be thinking. Great, another person telling me to go with the flow and not have opinions about things. But that's not quite it. Non-judging isn't about becoming some sort of passive zombie who doesn't care about anything. It's actually about becoming more powerful, more clear, and more free. Here's what I want you to notice. How much of your day do you spend in judgment mode? Like thinking things like, this traffic is ridiculous. My boss is a crazy person. I look terrible. Or that person shouldn't have said that to me. Or I should be further along by now. That's a big one. We've all become walking judgment machines, haven't we? And here's what's fascinating. All that judgment is like carrying around invisible weights. Every judgment is another stone in your emotional backpack. And soon enough, you're moving through life feeling really heavy, really exhausted, and disconnected. So, what exactly is non-judging? It's the practice of observing what's happening in your thoughts, your body, your relationships, your life, without slapping a label on it. It's like a curious scientist studying their own experience. Let's look at an analogy. Imagine you're sitting by a river and some leaves float by. Some are vibrant and green, some are brown and weathered, some are torn, some are pristine. The river doesn't judge the leaves, it simply just carries them along. Non-judging is being the river. You notice what's flowing through your awareness, but you don't grab onto it and declare this leaf is good and this leaf is bad. I used to wake up some mornings feeling anxious, and immediately my internal critic would just jump in and attack. You shouldn't feel this way, Elizabeth. Successful people don't wake up like this and feel anxious. What's wrong with you? That judgment created a cascade. The original anxiety plus the shame plus the self-criticism. Now I had 3 problems instead of 1. But when I notice anxiety now, I just say, okay, there's some judgment there. Why am I judging? What is my body telling me? How does it feel right now? And instead of being the victim of my own anxiety, I can become its curious observer. And you know what? The anxiety usually shifts much more quickly because I'm not feeding it with resistance. But this is where people get confused. Non-judging doesn't mean you can't discern or make decisions. Pema Chodron talks about this beautifully, saying we can notice what's happening without adding our personal spin, our story, or our drama to it. If someone treats you poorly, you can notice that without judgment. You could say to yourself, this person seems upset and is speaking harshly, and still choose to protect yourself or address the situation. The difference is that you're responding from clarity rather than reactivity. Think about your relationships. How often do you immediately categorize someone as difficult, boring, or problematic based on a first impression? Non-judging invites you to stay curious. That difficult person might be navigating a crisis that you know nothing about. The boring conversation might contain hidden wisdom if you listen with fresh awareness. Here's another way to understand it. And this cracks me up because it's so obvious once you see it. Judgment is like putting on colored glasses and everything you see gets filtered through your preconceptions. Non-judging is like taking off those glasses and seeing with clear vision. You might discover that what you thought was a monster in the shadows was actually just a coat on a chair. How many monsters have you created that were just coats? In your work life, non-judging can create breakthrough moments. Instead of immediately labeling a project as impossible or a colleague as incompetent, you pause and observe. You might just say, this project feels overwhelming, let me break it down and see what's actually required. Or this colleague and I seem to have different approaches. I wonder what I can learn from their perspective. The practice isn't about becoming passive or losing your discernment. It's about creating space between what happens and how you respond. In that space lives your power to choose how you want to engage with life. And that's the joke of it all. We think judgment gives us power, but it's actually what keeps us trapped in the same old patterns that don't serve us or anyone else. So how do you cultivate this? Start small. Pick one routine part of your day. Maybe it's your morning coffee or your commute, and practice pure observation. Notice temperature, textures, sounds without labeling them as good or bad. Just notice. When you catch yourself in judgment mode, which you will do, we all do, just simply notice that too. Ah, my judging mind is here. Hello, judging mind. And don't judge yourself about the judging. Notice that this practice can become very gentle. Try this with your emotions too. Instead of saying, I'm so angry and I shouldn't be angry, just say, okay, I feel anger present. There's heat in my chest. My body's trying to tell me something. Let's do a short practice. Get comfortable wherever you are. You can keep your eyes open or you can close them. Take a breath and simply notice whatever thoughts are present right now. You don't need to change them or push them away. Just observe them like clouds drifting through a vast sky. If a thought appears, you might note thinking and let it pass. If you notice yourself judging the thought, just notice judging and let that pass too. Can you observe your thoughts with the same quiet curiosity you might watch birds flying outside your window with? No need to chase them or shoo them away. Just this gentle, spacious watching. Take a moment to appreciate this capacity you have, the ability to step back and observe your own mind without getting swept away. This is non-judging awareness. It's always here, waiting for you to remember it. Take another breath in, exhale, and when you're ready, gently return. Friends, non-judging isn't about lowering your standards or losing your edge. It's about gaining the superpower of clear seeing. When you stop wasting energy judging every little thing, you free up incredible mental and emotional resources for what actually matters. I'd love to hear about your experiments with non-judging in the comments below. What did you discover when you tried observing without immediately evaluating? Next time, we'll explore patience, and it's not what you think. Until then, be really kind to yourself. Remember, this practice is mental. Proceed with consciousness. Subscribe to the Conscious Counsel Collective and join our community on School. Find the link in the description. See you all next time. Bye, friends.